Hi everyone, it's Tim here, and I am here along with Costa to discuss Slovenia's EMA, which is taking place this weekend. So, let's get on with it.
Still going with that catchphrase, huh? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we are talking about Slovenia's national selection for Rotterdam. One of the more low-key selections, I will say. Obviously, it's a one-shot national final, meaning that there's no momentum that can be gained through multiple heats or semi-finals. However, there was a twist this year in the form of EMA Fresh, which meant that 2 of the 12 competing artists were selected through pre-selection, which had over 8 weeks of duels, which is 7 weeks more than the actual selection for Eurovision, which was a bit absurd. I wrote every damn article on that selection, and it was a lot to follow. So I'm kind of glad that EMA is staying at one night. However, I have to say that the selection from that was extremely underwhelming, and there were 2 much better songs that should have qualified, particularly an artist called Astrid in Avant Garden had a really interesting track that I think would have still been a contender out of this 12 song lineup and could have actually won the whole selection, but she struggled throughout the entire thing. She didn't win her first duel, and then she didn't win the final, so it's like clearly people just weren't here for it. But yeah, they're gone. What we have is 12 songs, and we're just going to go straight in and say, Tim, who are your favourite tracks? Not necessarily who you're going to do the best, but who are your favourites?
Oh, actually, there's 2, and I know that people are going to slander me because I'm just going to take the obvious names. First of all, I really like Tinkara's song. It's very, very different from Round and Round, and I like the fact that she's showing kind of a different side of her from 2014, and I can really hear the emotion from it. And I mean, even though I've only heard about 30 seconds of it and I don't know what the rest of the track is, I can sense the fact that she's grown and matured as an artist since participating previously. And I'm also thinking about whether or not she's going to bring the flute this time around. Who knows? And the other one is, of course, the Junior Eurovision 2015 entrant, Lena. I think, from what I've heard, the song's really fresh and current, and it suits her voice. But at the end of the day, for me, it's more of the fact that how are they both are going to perform it live? Because, like you said, EMA is only a one-shot final, and we're only judging this based on the snippets, and if we had some sort of like indication of how they performed it live, then maybe I could give you something better. But for me, it's those 2 that can, I think, bring them a great result, but that depends on the live performance. How about you, Costa?
That's fair. I'm going to disagree with you on Tinkara's song. I was massively disappointed. I thought Round and Round was one of my favourites of 2014. And this is underwhelming. It's very Disney, but not in a very whimsical way. It feels very dated, and I just don't think her. I mean, she could prove me wrong, but I think there is another ballad from Clara.
Yeah.
That I think is a lot. It has a sweeter vibe to it, and there's also Anna. Soklic has a more powerful ballad as well, based on I've heard the 1 minute snippet, so I've got a bit more of a vibe of what the song's like. So I think she can. I don't think she'll make it to the super final. So that's what I forgot to mention. Like last year, EMA is basically a kind of obscure format where a jury and a jury only selects the top 2, and then the top 2 in the super final is 100% televote, which is how Zala Gaspar, formerly Zala and Gaspar, Zala Crouch and Gaspar Chantil, shall I say? Took me 3 attempts, but we got there. They won by almost 80% of the televote, which was a complete landslide and very shocking against Raven last year. However, I don't think we're going to have a similar shock in store, because I do think Lena has the best song in
Mhm.
terms of Eurovision competitiveness. I mean, Slovenia are in a tough semi, as we've seen, just based on the countries in that and also the songs we know so far. I'm not 100% confident that any of the 12 songs could qualify, actually, if I'm honest. But I think Man Like You, Lena's song, it's very catchy. It's got a great hook.
Mhm.
And it has a kind of, it feels very age appropriate for her, actually, which is surprising because a song like Man Like You when you're 17 is a
Mhm.
bit suspicious, but I think her delivery might sell it. But I'm looking forward to seeing that live. And I also want to shout, and also she's closing the semi, which makes me think that she has a good shot of
Mhm.
making it to the super final, if you think of terms of what the producer would do with that. However, and then my second favorite, which is Gaia, which is
Mhm.
a bit more of a Falene throwback in terms of
Mhm.
it's a bit more electro, it's a bit
Yeah.
more alternative in its kind of presentation. It's third
Mhm.
in the running order, which isn't great. I was a bit upset.
Mhm.
And then Tinkara's in seventh. So just
Mhm.
bang in the middle. I really don't think she's going to make the super final, Tim. I
Yeah.
hate to say it.
I
And then
know. I know.
another, there's, I think Lena's almost certain to make the super final. And I think there's two competitors that she's facing. I don't think Gaia will, because it's a similar offering to what Lena has.
Mhm.
I think Imset with Femme Fatale, which is 11th in the running order, has a very fun song that I think could stand out in Eurovision, because it has got a bit of a throwback kind of
Mhm.
fun Balkan quality to it. It's a bit of a summer track, and I think it has an appeal that
Mhm.
I think in a televote situation could do well, but not sure if the juries will respect it. And then just going back to EMA Fresh, I think there's no way RTV Slow would allow not one of the two EMA Fresh finalists, which are Saska and Pavani Violet. So I think
Mhm.
Pavani Violet will also be in the super final against Lena. And I think she'll get they'll get, it's a band. I think they'll get flattened
Yeah.
because Cupid is a cute song, but it has no competitive kind of edge to it. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident that's what will happen. I think it'll be
Mhm.
Lena and Pavani in the super final. I think Lena will win, and I'll be very content with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay. For me, I'd say Lena and who's gonna be the other one? I'd say Lena and Clara if I had my way. Lena and Clara to super final, and then obviously Lena to just bring the whole thing home. Well, not home, but like win it. I mean, but if that's the case, and if Lena does end up winning, that means she'd be the second Junior Eurovision participant this year, isn't it? If she does end up hosting.
Okay, there's Destiny.
Oh,
No,
there's Stefania.
Stephania.
Stefania. So
Stefania as well.
so she could possibly
3.
do. We could possibly
And
see
Athena's tried to get to Junior Eurovision, so we'll say 3.5.
3.5. So it's. I think this is the start of the turning point where all of the people who participated in Junior Eurovision are making comebacks.
Yeah,
So
exciting. Novena started a wave.
I know.
We love that.
Mhm.
Okay, I think we've kind of covered it. It's again,
Yeah.
there's not much to talk about. They haven't given us
Yeah.
much to work with here, but we still want to talk about it because we're still doing a prediction, because we still do know the songs,
Yeah.
at least partially. And it's this
Mhm.
weekend, and it's going to be
Mhm.
one of the very few songs that we still have. We're not even
Mhm.
halfway through yet, and we've got
Mhm.
less than 3 weeks until the head delegation meeting. So all that's left to say is to look out for round 7 of Eurovision Prediction. There's still time to make your prediction, unless you're watching this on Sunday. Then there definitely isn't. So in that case, look at the scoreboard and then join on Monday when the new round opens. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're just getting fired up in the run up to Rotterdam. We're going to be coming up with a lot more interesting content. We're just experimenting at the moment. So keep an eye open for that. And also follow ESCXTRA and ESC Prediction on all social media platforms. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.